Hello learners, today's topic is identification test for cations and anions as per Indian Pharmacopoeia 2018. So, to understand cations and anions, we need to know about ions. So we can say ions, which are a part of the science subject chemistry, forms from atoms and electrons that have either gained or lost their weight by the removal or adding of one or more valence electrons, which would create either positive or a negative charge. The ions with a negative charge are called anions, and the ones with a positive charge are called cations. Since both of them have charge of opposing qualities, they get attracted to one another and thereby forming an ionic bond between them. So what are cations and anions? Cations are positively charged ions. They are formed when a metal loses its electron. They lose one or more than one electron and do not lose any proton. Therefore, they possess a net positive charge. Some examples of cations are calcium, potassium, hydrogen. Next is, what are anions? Anions are negatively charged ions. They are formed when non-metal gains the electrons. They gain one or more than one electron and do not lose any proton. Therefore, they possess a net negative charge. Some examples of anions are iodine, chlorine, and hydroxide. So here we can see the pictorial representation of cations and anions. First cation, it has protons 5 in numbers and electrons 3 in numbers. Thus cations gain the positive charge since they possess more protons than electrons. And in the case of anions, the nucleus has 3 protons and outer shell has 5 electrons. Thus electrons are more than protons, so it gains negative charge. A neutral atom either loses an electron. When it loses an electron, it becomes cations, and when the neutral atom gains an electron or 2 or more electrons, then it becomes anions. So on loss of electrons from neutral atom, it results in formation of cations, and when a neutral atom gains electrons, it results in formation of anions. So here is the list of some important cations and anions which are important in the field of inorganic pharmaceutical chemistry. So since we are discussing here in this particular part anions only, so we will discuss about the anions. Here, those which have been highlighted with yellow are inorganic compounds, inorganic anions, which have not been discussed in your Indian Pharmacopoeia 2018 edition. Rest all are there, so we will discuss only those anions in this particular lecture. So anions. First one is acetates. First method for identification of acetates is when a sample being examined is heated with equal amount of oxalic acid. Acid vapors with characteristic odor of acetic acid are liberated. That is sodium acetate. When it is reacted with oxalic acid, it results in formation of acetic acid and sodium carbonate. Thus how we get the smell of acetic acid. In second method, 1 gram of sample being examined is warmed with 1 ml of sulfuric acid and 3 ml of ethanol, that is 95% ethanol, until odor of ethyl acetate is evolved. Here, potassium acetate in the presence of sulfuric acid reacts with ethanol to form an ester, ethyl acetate, and byproduct of potassium sulfate and a water molecule. In third method of identification of acetates, 30 mg of sample is dissolved in 3 ml of water, 0.025 ml of lanthanum nitrate solution, 0.1 ml of 0.1 molar iodine, and 0.05 ml of dilute ammonia solution is added. Heat carefully. Blue precipitate appears within few minutes. Next anion here which we have to discuss is benzoates. First method of identification of benzoates is add 0.5 ml of ferric chloride test solution to 1 ml of 10% weight by volume neutral solution of sample. Dull yellow precipitate soluble in ether is formed. Below is the reaction, how dull yellow precipitate of ferric chloride is formed when it reacts with benzoate ions. Second method, warm gently the mixture of 0.2 gram of sample and 0.3 ml of sulfuric acid. White sublimate is deposited on the inner walls of the tube and charring does not occur. So here, sodium benzoate in the presence of sulfuric acid when heated gives white sublimate. In the third method, dissolve 0.5 gram of the sample in 10 ml of water or use 10 ml of the prescribed solution and add 0.5 ml of hydrochloric acid. The precipitate obtained after crystallization and drying, it melts at about 122 degrees centigrade. Here, sodium benzoate reacts with hydrochloric acid to give benzoic acid and a molecule of sodium chloride. So 122 is the melting point of benzoic acid, which has precipitated as white crystalline substance. Next one is bicarbonate ions. First method for identification of bicarbonates is carbon dioxide is evolved on boiling sample solution. Whenever you boil a bicarbonate ion containing sample, it will result in evolution of carbon dioxide from the solution. In the second method, when sample solution is treated with magnesium sulfate, no precipitate is formed. Distinction from carbonates. This is how bicarbonates is distinguished from the carbonates. On boiling, a white precipitate is formed. In cold, sodium, you can see the reaction in cold condition. Sodium hydrogen carbonate, when it is reacted with magnesium sulfate, there is no reaction. On boiling, sodium carbonate evolves carbon dioxide, and when sodium carbonate solution is being made, we get ions of sodium and hydroxide, and carbon dioxide gas is evolved. When magnesium sulfate is added to this solution, we get magnesium hydroxide and sulfur oxide. This magnesium hydroxide, this reacts with carbonate ion to give magnesium hydroxycarbonate molecule, which results in formation of white precipitate. In third method, 1 gram of sample being examined is taken in test tube and 2 ml of 2-normal acetic acid is added. Test tube is closed immediately with stopper fitted with the glass bend tube. Heat gently and collect the gas in 5 ml 0.1 normal barium hydroxide solution. White precipitate forms, that is dissolved in on addition of an excess of dilute hydrochloric acid. Below is the reaction, that what is happening in this method. Sodium carbonate is reacted with acetic acid. This results in formation of sodium acetate and and a molecule of water and carbon dioxide. When barium hydroxide is reacted with carbon dioxide, it results in formation of barium carbonate and a water molecule. This barium carbonate, when it is reacted with hydrochloric acid, it results in formation of barium chloride as end product. Now, the identification test of bromide ion. When a sample is treated with concentrated sulfuric acid, liberation of reddish brown fumes, intensity on addition of manganese oxide shows the presence of bromide. It is confirmed by following test. In test for bromide in the presence of iodides, all iodine must be removed by boiling the aqueous solution with excess of lead dioxide. First method is dissolve a quantity of sample being examined equivalent to about 3 mg of bromide ion in 2 ml water or use 2 ml of prescribed solution. Acidify with 2 molar nitric acid and add 1 ml of 0.1 molar silver nitrate. Shake and allow to stand. A curdy pale yellow precipitate is formed. Centrifuge and wash the precipitate with 1 ml of water 3 times. Precipitate is to be suspended in 2 ml of water and 15 ml of 10 molar ammonia is added to dissolve the precipitate. Here, sodium bromide reacts with silver nitrate to give silver bromide, yellow precipitate, and a molecule of sodium nitrate. In another method, 10 mg of substance is being examined, is dissolved in 2 ml of water and 1 ml of chlorine solution. Bromine gas is evolved, which is soluble in 2 or 3 drops of chloroform. Reddish solution forms. Add phenol solution, a white precipitate is produced. 2 molecules of potassium bromide reacts with chlorine molecule to give 2 molecules of potassium chloride, and the bromine in the form of vapors is being eliminated here. Reddish solution is formed when you dissolve this in chloroform. Ethanol plus bromine gives hydrogen bromide and tribromophenol. So the next anion which we need to discuss is carbonate. First method for identification of carbonate is hereunder. 0.1 gram of sample being examined is taken in test tube containing 2 ml of water or prescribed solution. 2 ml of 2 molar acetic acid is added in test tube and it is closed immediately with stopper fitted with glass bend tube. Heat gently and collect the gas in 5 ml of 0.1 molar barium hydroxide. A white precipitate is formed. Precipitate is dissolved on addition of an excess of dilute hydrochloric acid. This is the reaction. Calcium carbonate. It is reacted by acetic acid, results in formation of calcium diacetate and water molecule and carbon dioxide. When the barium hydroxide reacts with the carbon dioxide evolved from the above reaction, it results in formation of barium carbonate. And when this barium carbonate is reacted or you can say when this barium carbonate is acted upon by hydrochloric acid, it results in formation of barium chloride, a molecule of carbon dioxide and water obtained as a result. Second method is solution of sample is treated with solution of magnesium sulfate, a white precipitate is formed. So when you dissolve the sample, here we can say sodium carbonate sample in water, you get sodium hydroxide ion with a molecule of carbon dioxide. To this, when you add magnesium sulfate, the magnesium sulfate reacts with the hydroxyl ion to form magnesium hydroxide and sulfate ion is being released. This magnesium hydroxide formed in above reaction now again reacts with carbonate ion and results in formation of magnesium hydroxide carbonate, that is the white precipitate you have obtained at the end. Another anion under this heading is chloride. The method of identification for chlorides, the first one is sample equivalent to 2 mg of chloride ion is dissolved in 2 ml of water or use 2 ml of prescribed solution. Acidifying sample with dilute nitric acid, add 0.5 ml of silver nitrate solution. Shake. Curdy white precipitate is formed which is insoluble in nitric acid but soluble in dilute ammonia after washing with water. It reprecipitates after adding dilute nitric acid. This confirms the presence of chloride. So this is how the chloride ion is being identified. Below is the reaction, that is sodium chloride. When it reacts with silver nitrate, it results in formation of silver chloride and sodium nitrate. This silver chloride, when reacted with ammonia, it forms silver ammonium chloride, and this silver ammonium chloride when reacted with nitric acid, it is again gives you silver chloride. This is the reappearance of your silver chloride precipitate, white precipitate, while adding again the nitric acid to above solution. Second method, sample equivalent to 10 ml of chloride ion and 0.2 gram of potassium dichromate taken in test tube and 1 ml of sulfuric acid is added. Filter paper strips moistened with 0.1 ml of diphenyl carbazide solution turns violet red when placed over the test tube. So what happens here? Potassium dichromate along with sodium chloride and sulfuric acid reacts to form 2 molecules of chromium oxychloride and 2 molecules of potassium hydrogen sulfate, 4 molecules of sodium hydrogen sulfate and a water molecule. This chromium chloride is now next when gets vaporized and reacts with the diphenyl carbazide moistened paper, it generates violet red color. Next anion under this topic is citrate. The method of identification for this one is add solution of calcium chloride to neutral solution of substance being examined. After boiling the solution, white precipitate appears which is soluble in 6 molar acetic acid. So the sample is being reacted with calcium chloride in the solution form, resulting in formation of white precipitate, which is the complex of calcium ion and your molecule. Second method, dissolve the sample equivalent to about 50 mg of citric acid in 5 ml of water. Add 0.5 ml of sulfuric acid and 3 ml of potassium permanganate solution. Warm until the color of permanganate is discharged. Add 0.5 ml of 10% weight by volume solution of sodium nitroprusside in 1 ml sulfuric acid and 4 gram of sulfamic acid. Make alkaline with strong ammonia solution dropwise until all the sulfamic acid has dissolved. On addition of an excess of strong ammonia solution, a violet color which turns violet blue is observed. Now another anion which we have to discuss here is iodide. The method for identification of iodides, first one is sample equivalent to 4 mg of iodide ion is dissolved in 2 ml of water or use 2 ml of prescribed solution. After acidifying with dilute nitric acid, 0.5 ml of silver nitrate solution and shake. Curdy pale yellow precipitate is formed. Centrifuge and wash the precipitate 3 times by 1 ml of water. Suspend the precipitate in 2 ml of water and add 1.5 ml of 10 molar ammonia. The precipitate does not dissolve. Here sodium iodide when reacted with silver nitrate in the presence of nitric acid results in formation of silver iodide, which gives you the pale yellow precipitate insoluble in ammonia. Second method, 0.2 ml of solution of sample being examined equivalent of about 5 mg of iodide ion per ml or 0.2 ml of prescribed solution is taken. To this, 0.5 ml of 1 molar sulfuric acid and 0.15 ml of potassium dichromate solution along with 2 ml of water and 2 ml of chloroform is being added. This mixture is shaken. Chloroform layer becomes violet or violet red. This is how we can identify the iodide ion in the given sample. Third method, in this we have to add 0.5 ml of mercury chloride solution to 1 ml of sample solution being examined containing equivalent of about 5 mg of iodide ion. Dark red precipitate is formed which is slightly soluble in excess of reagent and very soluble in an excess of potassium iodide solution. Here the potassium iodide when reacted with mercury chloride, it results in formation of mercuric iodide, and this mercuric iodide when again dissolved in excess of potassium iodide, it results in formation of potassium mercuric iodide. So this is how the precipitate formed is being dissolved. So moving to next anion is lactates. The first method of identification of lactate is here under. Add 1 ml of bromine water and 0.5 ml of 1 molar sulfuric acid to 5 ml of sample solution being examined containing the equivalent of about 5 mg of lactic acid or 5 ml of prescribed solution. Heat on water bath, stir occasionally until color disappears and add 4 gram of ammonium sulfate along with 0.2 ml of 10% weight by volume solution of sodium nitroprusside, 1 molar sulfuric acid dropwise without mixing. Then add 1 ml of strong ammonia solution without mixing. Allow to stand for 30 minutes. Dark green ring appears at the interface of the two liquids. This is how we can identify lactate anions. Now next anion which we have to discuss is nitrates. The first method for its identification is here under. 15 mg of sample being examined is dissolved in 0.5 ml of water. Add 1 ml of sulfuric acid carefully. Mix and cool. Incline the tube and carefully add without mixing 0.5 ml of ferrous sulfate solution. A brown color is produced at the interface of the two liquids. So reaction taking place here is here under. Sodium nitrate when reacts with sulfuric acid, it results in formation of sodium hydrogen sulfide and nitric acid. When ferrous sulfate is being added along with nitric acid and sulfuric acid, ferric sulfate is formed. This ferrous sulfate when reacts with nitrogen oxide, a brine ring is formed. The nitrogen oxide evolves in the second step of the reaction, where the ferrous sulfate reacts with nitric acid and sulfuric acid. Here the nitrous oxide gas is released, which reacts with ferrous sulfate to form the brown ring. In second method, add sample substance in mixture of 0.1 ml nitrobenzene and 0.2 ml of sulfuric acid. Allow to stand for 5 minutes and cool in ice bath. Add 5 ml of water slowly and 5 ml of sodium hydroxide solution. Add 5 ml of acetone, shake and allow to stand. Upper layer shows an intense violet color. So next anion which we have to discuss here is phosphate. The method for its identification, the first one is here under. Mix 5 ml of neutral sample solution with having pH 7 to 5 ml silver nitrate solution. Light yellow precipitate is formed. The color remains unchanged on boiling but readily soluble in 10 molar ammonia and in dilute nitric acid. Sodium hydrogen phosphate reacts with silver nitrate to give you silver phosphate, and nitric acid and sodium nitrate. The silver phosphate, when it is dissolved, the color remains unchanged, but when you add ammonia, it forms complex soluble, that's how it dissolves. Second method is here under. 1 ml of prescribed solution is mixed with 1 ml of ammonical magnesium sulfate solution. White crystalline precipitate is formed. Here the sodium hydrogen phosphate reacts with magnesium sulfate in the presence of ammonia to form magnesium ammonium phosphate, which gives you white crystalline precipitate. Third method. In this method, mix 2 ml of prescribed solution with 2 ml of dilute nitric acid and 4 ml of ammonium molybdate solution. A bright yellow precipitate is formed. Here is the reaction. Hydrogen phosphate, it reacts with your ammonium molybdate solution in the presence of nitric acid and sodium nitrite to give you ammonium phosphate complex with molybdenum oxide, and alongside ammonium nitrate and water molecule is also formed. Another anion in this chapter is sulfate. The first method for its identification is dissolve a 50 mg amount of sample in dilute hydrochloric acid and add barium chloride solution. A white precipitate insoluble in concentrated nitric acid is obtained. So the reaction is sodium sulfate reacts with barium chloride to form barium sulfate and a molecule of sodium chloride. This barium sulfate gives you the white precipitate insoluble in nitric acid. In second method, add 1 ml of iodine solution to the suspension obtained in above test. It remains yellow but soon decolorizes by adding drop-wise stannous chloride solution. It is distinct test for iodates. Boil the mixture, no colored precipitate is formed. Distinction from seleniates and tungstenates. The third method, add 2 ml of lead acetate solution in sample solution, 50 mg in 5 ml water. A white precipitate soluble in ammonium acetate solution and in sodium hydroxide solution is produced. Potassium sulfate reacts with lead acetate to give you lead sulfate and potassium acetate. So lead sulfate here is the white precipitate you see. Next anion of this chapter is tartarates. The method of identification of tartarate is here under. The first method, sample is warmed with sulfuric acid, charring occurs and carbon monoxide is evolved when ignited in blue flame. Reaction is given thereunder. In the second method, dissolve 20 mg of sample being examined in 5 ml of water or use 5 ml of prescribed solution. Add 0.05 ml of 1% weight by volume solution of ferrous sulfate and 0.05 ml of hydrogen peroxide solution. Transient yellow color is produced. After the color is disappeared, add 2 ml sodium hydroxide dropwise. Intense blue color is produced. The reaction taking place is here under. The third method for identification of tartrate is here under. Heat 0.1 ml of solution containing equivalent of 2 mg of tartaric acid or 0.01 ml of prescribed solution on a water bath for 5 to 10 minutes with 0.1 ml of 2% weight by volume resorcinol solution and add 3 ml of sulfuric acid. dark blue color is produced. Color changes to red on cooling. Here are the references from where we have obtained all the procedures, the identification of various anions. Thanks for watching this video. If you like, please do subscribe my channel, like and share, and do comment what you want to see next. Thank you. Bye bye.